During our parents' Ruby anniversary trip, my teenage niece deliberately dumped a pitcher of sticky sangria over my open laptop and sneered, "The help really shouldn't leave their toys out." My father defended her atrocious behavior like it was standard protocol, so I simply packed my bags and drove away. Just before midnight, I executed one silent keystroke. At 9:15 the following Monday, my brother tried to access a business empire that suddenly vanished. I'm Ethan, 34, and my family treats my generosity as a strict obligation. The detail nobody in that rented Lake Tahoe cabin understood was that my older brother Ryan's lucrative e-commerce store wasn't legally his. 3 years ago, his credit was completely ruined by a messy bankruptcy. He couldn't secure the servers or merchant accounts needed to launch his sneaker resale business, so he begged for my help. I stepped up. The domain name, premium hosting, and core payment processing were all registered under my personal accounts. He handled the daily inventory and took all the profits. I paid the annual renewal fees and kept his digital lights on. The help comment wasn't just a teenager acting edgy. 8 months prior, I was reviewing footage from my front porch security camera, looking for a misplaced package. Instead, I watched Ryan and his wife standing on my welcome mat. While waiting for me to open the door, Ryan chuckled to her. "Ethan's basically a human ATM. You just punch in a fake sob story, withdraw the favor, and completely forget he exists." They both laughed. I opened the door, handed them what they needed, and stayed entirely silent. That was my assigned role. Ryan's daughter, Mia, had been pushing my boundaries for over a year. It was always subtle, calculated disrespect, leaving garbage in my car, rolling her eyes whenever I spoke, or ignoring me entirely at family events. Every time I brought it up, Ryan claimed it was just a teenager going through a phase. When I looked to my dad for backup, he told me to stop being so sensitive. The anniversary dinner was the final straw. 14 relatives sat around a massive oak dining table in the lodge. I was sitting at the far end, finishing a brief client email on my MacBook. Mia walked past holding a full pitcher of blackberry sangria. She didn't trip, she didn't stumble. She stopped directly behind my chair, tilted her wrist, and poured a quart of purple liquid directly onto my keyboard. The screen fizzled black instantly. Smoke literally hissed from the internal vents. Every conversation in the room abruptly halted. Mia stood there unbothered, swinging the empty pitcher. She looked down at me and delivered the line she had undoubtedly learned from her parents. The help really shouldn't leave their toys out. The disrespect hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. I waited for Ryan to intervene, or my mother to gasp. Instead, my dad sighed loudly. "Ethan, please, don't ruin your mother's weekend over a silly machine. We'll buy you a new one." I didn't shout or demand an apology. I calmly closed the dripping laptop, walked to my bedroom, and grabbed my duffel bag. My dad followed me down the hall, demanding to know where I was going. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You'll find out on Monday." I drove 4 hours back to San Francisco in total silence. At exactly 11:45 p.m., I logged into my server administration dashboard. The digital infrastructure belonged entirely to me. I suspended the hosting account, revoked all administrator access, and redirected the primary domain to a blank 404 error page. The servers didn't care about family loyalty. They only recognized the legal administrator, and that was me. Monday morning at 9:15 a.m., my phone vibrated off the desk. Ryan's panic was immediate. "The site is down. I have $20,000 in pending orders." I kept my voice level. "It's not your site. I own the domain, the hosting, and the processing accounts." I shut it down. He instantly pivoted to outrage. "This is about the sangria? About a stupid laptop? It's about your daughter treating me like garbage in front of everyone, and you enabling it," I replied. He threw our father's exact words back at me. "You're ruining my life over a silly machine." I paused, letting the silence stretch. A spilled pitcher is loud and temporary. Deleting a server is quiet and permanent. Then, I hung up the phone. Full story on the channel. Link below.